Okay, welcome to everybody. This is week two of our beginning bridge class. And you may have noticed that we sort of turned the corner in the bridge class on last Monday. And week two kind of is the hardest week. And the reason for that is we do the introductions in week one. We talk about what a deck of cards is, how bridge works, how you evaluate your hand. But we go pretty slowly when we're discussing this. And so week one is a little bit easier and more relaxed. Week two, not so much. Week two, there's a lot of concepts to introduce at one time, kind of. We're talking about a lot of things at once, and everything is new. Everything is new. All the classes after this, we will be introducing new concepts each time, but they sort of build on weeks one and two. So it won't be quite so frantic the next week. So if you're thinking to yourself, I don't know about this pace, this week two is the hardest week. So it should be better after that. If you're thinking to yourself, I don't know what she's talking about. This sounds great. It's a breeze. Excellent. Don't worry. You'll love bridge from the get go. So, all right, so let's talk about first thing I'd like to do is review a little bit about what we learned in week one. And hang on here, get over to where we are. Okay, the first thing can you guys see the hand count uh, page on your screen right now? Yes or no?
Yeah,
No.
it's the list of people in the class.
Yes. Let me. Okay, now can you see the hand count? The ace is four, king
Yeah,
is three. You can see that. Okay, good. All right. Uh, I had paused sharing. How, I don't know. It's always a mystery to me how some of these things happen. Anyway, so let's talk about this for just a minute because this is how we value our hands. An ace is four, king is three, queen is two, a jack is one. We just add up the face cards in our hands and see how many points we have in our hand. And then we add 1 point for every card over four in a suit. So if we have five cards in a suit, we add 1 point, six cards, 2 points. If we have two five-card suits, we'll add 2 points, etc. So we add for length, and length is any card more than four in a suit. We're just adding the number of cards. Face cards, high card points, plus length, the number of cards we have in the suit. That gives us our hand valuation. And the reason we're doing that is to help us know how to do our bids and where we belong on the bidding ladder. The bidding ladder starts at one club, one diamond, one heart, one spade, one no trump. And you'll notice these are the orders of the suits. Clubs is lowest, then diamonds, then hearts, then spades, then no trump. On the bidding ladder, we can start anywhere on the bidding ladder we want. And in this class, we're going to be focusing on mainly bids that start at one club to one no trump. The one bids there, you could start at higher levels, but those have different meanings. So starting at the one to one no trump level is where you start. Then everybody who bids after that must bid up the line because you can never go down the ladder. You always have to go up the ladder, but you don't have to go directly up. The first person could bid one heart, the next person two diamonds, the next person three spades, the next person three no trump. You could go up one at a time or you could jump, but you cannot go back down. That's the main rule about that. The hand valuation idea is to give us an idea of where we belong on the bidding ladder. We are bidding back and forth with our partner, trying to answer two questions. Our bidding questions are, how high do we belong up the bidding ladder? What level do we belong? Do we belong at the 1 level or the 4 level or the 7 level? And then where? Where do we belong? And that means, do we have a magic fit? Do we have a good 8-card fit, magic fit? That's where we want to play. If we have 8 cards in a suit, we play there. If not, we play in no trump. So if we find out if we have this fit, if we do, we play in the suit. If we don't, we play in no trump. So those are the two bidding questions. How high do we belong? And where do we belong? And that's what we're doing in the bidding that goes back and forth between us. Last week, our first week in class, we just did our bidding by saying out loud how many points we had. And then we'd add that to our partner's points. And whichever pair had the most points, that was the one that got to be declarer and dummy, the other person's defendant. In actual bidding, we use coded bids to communicate with our partner to answer these questions, how high and where. We don't just say things out loud. We say the exact bids that are available. And each bid that we make has a meaning. It says something. Sometimes it denies something. Sometimes it promises nothing. So you have to learn how the coded bidding system works. And what we're looking for in our bids back and forth are to decide how high up this ladder we need to go and what we need to be playing. Well, if we don't have many points, if we just have 20 or 21 points, we've got about half the points in the deck, right? Because we agreed that there were about 40 points in the deck. So if that's true, and we've got 20, the other people have 20. We've got about half, they've got about half. If both of you are pretty even, you shouldn't be bidding higher than the 1 level. You might be able to make 1 of something. And remember, in bridge, when we bid, our bid always means 1 plus 6 more. And the reason we do that is because if you have a little more than half the points, you should be able to take a little more than half the tricks. So if we're even starting bidding, we are saying, we're hoping that we're going to be able to take at least half the tricks, which would mean 6 plus 1 more. So our bidding is always the number plus 6. 6 is called the book. We always assume we're going to get the book plus whatever else we add to it by bidding up. If you and your partner between you have 22 or 23, you're probably okay to bid to the 2 level. If you've got 24 or 25 points between you, you're probably okay at the 3 level. 26 to 28 is the 4 level. 29 to 32, 5. 33 to 36 is the 6 level, and 37 or more is the 7 level. Now, there are certain points along this bidding ladder where you have extra bonus points that come in. The scoring in bridge, we don't really go into a lot in beginning bridge because you don't have to know it, okay? It helps if you know it, but it's just, you guys have enough to deal with right now. I'm sure you'll agree. So we don't really worry too much about how the scoring works, except for this. You need to know that you get big bonus points if you bid at the 3 no trump level. That's a game. 4 hearts or 4 spades is a game, and 5 diamonds and 5 clubs is a game. If you bid to the game level, if you bid that high, you are going to get bonus points of either 300 or 500 points. Most of the bids below that are worth around 100 points, 120, 130 points each. So if you get all the way up to the 3 no trump level, you get not only your 100, 120, whatever the what's called the part score, the below game, part of a game score was, you get a game bonus if you bid to that level. So we are always thinking to ourselves as we're bidding back and forth with partner, do we have 25 points, which is needed to make 3 no trump, or 26 to make 4 hearts or 4 spades? Just for ease, just kind of remember 25 points is a game in 3 no trump, 4 hearts, or 4 spades. It takes about 29 points to get a game in clubs or diamonds. That's why we don't like clubs or diamonds. We have to take all the tricks except 2 to get the game bonus. The same game bonus we could get by maybe making just 3 no trump. So we always have a kind of a tension between how high do we want to go. We want to get to the game level if we can. If we can't get game level, because with between our bidding and partners bidding, we see that we do not have 25 points, then we want to stop as soon as we can, as soon as we've decided the where part of it. If we've decided the how high is not game, we put the brakes on, we want to stop. But we still have to answer the where question. So that's what is going on with the bidding as we go back and forth. We're trying to decide how high and where, and we are trying to find, do we have game points between us? If we do, we want to push to get a game. If we don't, we want to stop as soon as we can. I will also add that in general, in the bidding, unless there's a specific reason to do it, we don't jump around. We kind of conserve our bidding until we know where we belong. Or if we have a bid that has a specific meaning, if we jump, we can jump. But just to make another bid to show extra points, we don't usually do that. So we usually stay low to conserve our bidding until we're sure of the how high and the where questions for our bidding. Okay. So that's kind of the concept of it. That's just the, the philosophy of what we're doing as we're bidding. So let's get into now to our start of learning the actual bids, the actual language of bridge, which is the bids that we can make. And so let's talk first about just bidding in a major suit, a heart or a spade. We divide our bidding concepts into opening a major suit, either a heart or a spade, opening a minor suit, either a club or a diamond, and opening one no trump. So we're having those 3 lessons. Those are the next 3 lessons in our class. This one is opening a major suit. Next week, we're going to talk about opening and responding in the minor suit, or tomorrow, actually. And then the last week, we're going to talk about opening and or the last week of our classes before our play party, we're going to discuss no trump bids. We have kind of a hierarchy of what we want to bid. The first thing we want to bid, if we can, is no trump, because that has a specific meaning. But if we can't open one no trump, and you'll find out later what that is, if we can't open one no trump, then we want to open one of a suit. In general, one club, one diamond, one heart, or one spade all show between 13 and 21 points. And it tells us that right here. 13 to 21 valuation points. High card points plus length. If it's between 13 and 21, we're going to open one of something. Either one club, one diamond, one heart, one spade, or one no trump. What we're going to have if we open one heart or one spade, the major suits, the higher suits, hearts or spades, is a 5-card major suit. So if you have either 5 hearts or 5 spades or more in either one of those, then you're going to open one heart or one spade. And that's pretty simple. You look at your hand, you sort it into suits, you count, do the valuation of your hand, high card points, plus add length, 1 or 2 for length, however many cards extra you have over 4 cards in any suit. And if you have between 13 and 21 and you have a 5-card major, you'll open the major suit, 1 heart or 1 spade. Okay, that's as easy as that is for opening. The opening bid really is pretty simple because you're going to open 1 no trump if you have the exact rules for that, which we'll learn later. You're going to open a major suit if you have 5 in the major suit. And if you don't have either one of those 2 things, you open a minor suit, either a club or a diamond. Talk about that tomorrow. So that's the opening bid of one of a major suit. Now, the responses are more interesting. Okay. For the responses, remember your partner has now told you they have an opening hand. So they have somewhere between 13 and 21 points. They have more than their fair share because they've opened. So you want to start as the responder describing your hand to your partner. As soon as one of you knows the answer to the questions, how high and where, that person goes to that level. But you have to bid back and forth. Sometimes the responder knows immediately where to go. Usually you don't, though. So usually you have to make a couple of bids. So what you need, there's priorities for deciding what you're going to bid. The first thing you want to do if partner is open 1 heart or 1 spade is to raise your partner's suit. Raise the opener's suit. That means bid that suit at a higher level. So if they bid 1 heart or 1 spade, you're going to bid 2 hearts or 3 hearts or 4 hearts, depending on how many points you have. So you're going to tell them right away. And the reason this is important is because if we have a major suit fit, if we find an 8-card fit in a major suit, we've answered one of our questions. We've answered the where question, because we always prefer to play in a major suit if we can. Our second choice is to play in no trump, and our last choice is to play in a minor suit. And you could see the reasons from the bidding ladder of why we prefer that. It might not make so much sense about why we prefer a major to a no trump, but you can see that a minor suit, you're all have to be up at the 5 level to have a game there. So we don't want to bid that unless that's the only thing we can bid. Sometimes that is what we need to do, but mostly that's not what we're looking to do. We're looking to find the where to be either no trump or hearts or spades. And if we find out right off the bat, we know it's hearts or spades, the major suit, that's what we're going to give priority to, is to getting to the right level of hearts or spades. So if partners opened one of a major, and that's all we're talking about today, if they've opened one of a major and they've had 5, right? We said they had to have 5 to open. They've promised us 5 in their suit. If they've got 5 in their suit, you just need to have how many to have that major suit fit? 3. 3, exactly. They've got 5. We've got at least 3. We've got the 8-card fit, the magic fit. We're good. We want to play in hearts or spades. Once we know that, we know the where. Now we just need to decide how high. Now, the interesting thing about this is that if we are going to raise our partner's suit because we have a fit, we know we have a fit, they've bid the suit first, so we're going to be the dummy. When that is the case, we revalue our hand. And instead of those length points that we gave, we forget about those. And now we revalue our hand, giving ourselves 5 points for a void, 3 points for a singleton, or 1 point for a doubleton. Those of you that have played bridge for a long time may remember that in the olden days, you used to not do this length business that we talked about. From the very beginning, you gave yourself shortness points. So if you were void, you gave yourself 3 points. If you had a singleton, which is 1 in a suit, you gave yourself 2 points. And a doubleton, which is 2 in the suit, it's just worth 1 point. That's old days, but you may remember that is because a lot of the people in the class have played before years ago. But that changed. And the reason it changed was that we realized that shortness is not valuable unless it will get you extra tricks. It's valuable in the sense that you can stop the opponents from taking tricks. Because if you just have a singleton, if you're bidding spades and you just have a singleton club, they can only take 1 club trick. Then you can trump in. Okay. So it's useful. It's a good thing to have, but it doesn't get you extra tricks. Where it gets you extra tricks is if it is in the dummy hand. If you are playing in spades, let's say, and let's say that in your hand, you have the ace, king, queen, jack, 10, 5 spades, ace, king, queen, jack, 10. Your partner has 4 spades, little spades. You have 9 spades between you. The opponents only have then 4 spades. You've got 9 spades between you. But if you play the spades and pull the spades in, you'll play the ace, the king, the queen, and the little cards that are in the dummy will fall under the ace, the king, the queen, maybe even the 10. If 4 are out against you in one hand, you'd have to play them 4 times to bring those in. So the ones that are in your hand are not worth anything at that point, except for the fact that having them in the dummy hand means that the opponents have fewer cards. That's good. But it doesn't get you extra points. Where it does get you extra points is if in that dummy hand, I'm voiding clubs. Now, rather than pulling all of the little trump in off the board, instead, as the declarer, the person with all the big spades, I will lead a club and trump with a little spade. Now I've got the ace, king, queen, jack, 10, plus the little spade that I trumped with. Does everybody see this? If I can play a dummy trump, not under the big trumps, but all by itself, that's an extra trick. And that's why we do this revaluation of our hand. Shortness is valuable when it's in the dummy. It can translate into extra tricks. When you're short in the declarer hand, the long trump hand, it's just valuable in stopping the opponents from taking tricks, but it doesn't earn extra tricks for you. That's kind of a hard concept to see as beginners. You'll see it more as you play, but just trust me. That's why we revalue our hand, because it is important. So if you're going to be dummy, that means partner has already bid the suit and you're raising the suit. You revalue your hand using the shortness and throw out any length you were considering. So what do we do? Well, with 0 to 5 points in valuation in our hand, we just pass. 0 to 5, we pass. Partner has at the most 21 points. And if we don't have even 6 points, the chances of us having a game are very slim. Only if we have 5 and they have 21 do we have a game. So we will just pass, don't bid. And that's pretty much true for all the bids. We start responding to the opening bid with 6 points. So 0 to 5 points, we pass. If we are in the next category up, about 6 to 10, we do what's called a single raise. Just raise one level, one of the major, two of the major, one heart, two hearts, one spade, two spades. We just go up one level. Again, that's when partner is open to heart or a spade, and we've got 3 at least hearts or spades. We raise one level with 6 to 10. We raise 2 levels, double jump, one heart, 3 hearts, one spade, 3 hearts. If we have 10 points, 11 or 12 points, then we jump a level. And again, that's with our revalued hand, counting extra for voids, singletons, etc. Now, it would make sense that if we had 13 or more, we would just bid 4 of the suit. After all, if we're raising with 6 to 10, we go one heart, 2 hearts. With 11 or 12, one heart, 3 hearts. It would make sense with 13 points, our 13, plus we know partner has 13 because they opened, that would give us 26 points. That's a game level. And we know that we have a fit. We have 3, they have 5. So we know we could play 4 hearts or 4 spades. We should be able to play the game level. It would make sense that we just bid the game level, but we don't. The reason we don't just bid one heart, 4 hearts, where we have a strong hand, we have an opening hand ourselves, is because there's a thing called a weak freak. A weak freak. A weak freak is a lot of partner suit. Partner opens one heart or one spade, and we've got 5, 6, maybe even 7 of the suit, tons of the suit, but not many points. Less than 10 points, at least 6, but less than 10. So in that 6 to 9, 10 range, we just jump to 4 hearts, one heart, 4 hearts, one spade, 4 spades. That sounds crazy, right? Because we probably don't have enough points for game. But the reason we do that, it's a long involved reason that we'll talk about more about in the second half of the class. If you take the April class where we talk about competitive bidding, we talk more about the reason behind this. But at this point, just remember that the one heart, 4 hearts, or one spade, 4 spades bid is weak, not strong. It's weak. Because that bid exists, we can't just bid one heart, 4 hearts, or one spade, 4 spades to show a strong hand. It shows a weak hand. So we have to do something else. So what we do is we just bid a new suit. Bid a new suit, any new suit, whatever a long suit is, 4-part suit that you have, but we don't really care because we aren't going to do anything with that suit. We know as a responder with 13 points and support for our partner, we're going to play 4 hearts or 4 spades. So we just bid the new suit first so we don't confuse them by jumping to 4 hearts or 4 spades. And that's 1. And 2, it lets us have an idea of where they are on the range, because the opener's next bid is going to have to limit their hand in some way, which we'll talk about in a minute. So you just bid a new suit. The nice thing about bidding a new suit, there is a rule that you need to know, and that is that the bid of a new suit by the responder is forcing. It makes partner bid again because it could mean anything. It doesn't limit your hand at all. It could mean that you belong in game, or it could mean you don't have any hearts or spades and you want to play in something else and you don't have many points. So bidding a new suit does not limit your hand at all. It really doesn't say much about your hand. And so partner has to bid again so he can describe his hand so you can have your conversation back and forth. That is different than making one of these two bids. If you make either one of these two bids, you have limited your hand to a certain thing. You said 6 to 10 points, not many points, but I do have support. Or if you've jumped 1 heart, 3 hearts, you've said, I've got more points, nearly a game, 11 or 12, and I've got support. So with either one of those two bids, partner now knows the answers to the question, how high and where. The where is going to be that suit, and the how high, he's going to add your points to his points and decide where to go. But with this bidding a new suit, your partner now knows not much more than he did to start with, and so he's got to bid again. Then you will come back and with that and bid 4 hearts or 4 spades, pretty much no matter what he says. So this is how the bidding goes back and forth. If partner has limited their hand, if we now know a range of where their hand is, whoever knows that about their partner can make the decision about how high. So when we bid a new suit, partner cannot now answer that question. So partner has to bid again. All partner knows if we bid a new suit is that we have at least 6 points. That's all it says. If it goes 1 heart by my partner and I bid 1 spade, that just says I've got 4 spades and 6 or more points. But partner has to bid again. So we're going to be safe to get to our 4 heart or 4 spade bid, which is where we know we want to be when we are in this category of raising the opener's suit. And we're in that category because we had 3 card support. So we know immediately we want to play in that suit. We know the where. Now the question is how high. Let me point out one other little thing. This range shows 6 to 10 and 11 to 12. Those are Audrey's ranges. Sally's ranges are 6 to 9 and 10 to 12. So I used a little 3-point, although 6 to 9 is technically 4 points, but 6 to 9 and 10 to 12. Then for raising, it's 13 to 15, 16 to 18, 19 to 21. I like those 3-point ranges. To me, it's easier to remember. You can do it whichever way you want. It's only 1 point difference. See, it's 6 to 9 or 10 and 10 or 11 to 12. So we're 1 point off either way. You know, there's always little ways you can, you know, revalue your hand for 1 point. So it's not that important a difference. But Audrey uses these, and I try to stay with that mainly. But if you hear me say 6 to 9 is the range, just remember that's probably Audrey's 6 to 10 range, okay? All right, so that is partner is open to major. Our first priority is to raise their suit if we've got 3 in the suit. We know we want to play, the where question is answered. We're going to play in that suit. However, what if we don't have 3 in partner suit? Then we go to the next priority. Partner has opened a major suit and we can't support that suit. Our next thing we want to do is bid a new suit of our own, and we want to find a 4-card major, a major suit of our own. If we can't match with partners, maybe they can match us. So if we have no support for partner, we're going to bid a new suit. If we bid at the 1 level, it just promises 4 points, 6 points, and a 4-card suit of some sort. So if they've opened a heart, we could bid a spade. That would promise at least 6 or more points and at least 4 spades. If we have more, we can bid at the 2 level. But we need to remember that we cannot go to the 2 level unless we have 10 plus points. So if partner has opened 1 spade, we cannot bid anything else unless we have 10 points, because that's the top. We could bid 1 no trump but unless we have 10 points, we cannot bid 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, whatever. We can't go any higher without 10 points. So if partner bids a heart, because today we're talking only about them bidding a major suit, they've either opened a heart or a spade. If they've opened a heart, we can say 1 spade with just 6 plus points and 4 spades. But if they have said a spade and we want to bid a new suit, we need to have 10 points. And there's a special little rule. If we're going to bid hearts, we need to have 5. So if partner opens 1 heart, we can bid 1 spade with 6 points. But if partner opens 1 spade and we want to bid hearts, we have to have 5. To me, this is most of the things we're talking about as concepts just make sense. This is one that's a little hard to remember. If you don't remember this, if you forget and you bid 2 hearts with just 4 hearts, not the end of the world. But technically, you are required to have 5 hearts to start them at the 2 level. And that's because we're starting them at the 2 level. We're already a level higher. So that's why we require 5 there. But just 4 diamonds or clubs, because we never want to stay in diamonds or clubs anyway. We're going to try to go to no trump if we can't do anything else. So partner has opened a heart or a spade. You do not have support for partner's suit. So you bid a new suit. And the new suit will have 4 cards in it. And if you have 10 or more points, it could be at the 2 level. If you don't have 10 or more points, it can only be 1 spade. And if you can't bid 1 spade, then you would bid 1 no trump. That's your last choice of what to bid if partner has opened a major suit. With 6 to 9 or 10 points, you're going to bid 1 no trump. And that just says, partner, I'm being polite. I can't raise your suit. I can't bid a suit of my own, but I do have 6 to 10 points. I want to let you know I have those points, because that helps partner decide how high on the bidding ladder you should be by knowing that you have some points. Another concept that's mentioned on this handout page that you need to know about is if you have a choice of equal length suits to bid, because you're going to bid a new suit and you need to decide which of the suits to bid. If you have 2 5-card suits, you bid the higher suit. With 2 5-card suits, you bid the higher one. With 2 4-card suits, you're going to bid up the line. So let's say that partner has opened a spade and you have 12 points. So you can go to the 2 level, and you have 5 diamonds and 5 clubs. Which do you think you would bid?
Diamonds.
Diamonds, the higher. So you'd bid 5 diamonds. If you have 4 diamonds and 4 clubs, you bid the clubs. You bid the lower. The reason for this is because if your partner doesn't support the 5, doesn't support the 4, you can then rebid a new suit you haven't gone up a level. If you have 5 in suit, you can afford to go up a level if they don't respond to you. So just remember this rule, because this rule applies this with 4-4 bid up the line and with 5-5 bid the higher. We're going to apply this in a lot of situations. The first one here is when you're deciding what new suit to bid. Okay. All right, so you have done one of these things. Partner opened a heart or a spade. If you had support, you raised them. If you didn't have support, you've bid a new suit. If you couldn't bid the new suit, but you have at least 6 points, you're going to bid 1 no trump. Okay. So you do one of those 3 things as the responder. Then it goes back to the opener. What does the opener do? The opener opened 1 heart or 1 spade. Okay. If your partner did not limit their hand, then you have to make another bid to show the level of your hand. So if you don't know yet how many points partner has because they didn't limit their hand in any way, you now have to make another bid to tell partner the level of your hand. Because this is a communication going back and forth. If you know because they limited their hand, great. If they limited their hand, then you use the strength of your hand to decide where you need to be. You will now know how high you need to be. You might not know the where question yet. Okay. Now, let's think about this. Let's look back just a minute at the responses that you could have made. Then let's think about the ones where you limited your hand, where you told partner your exact range and exact information about your hand. Where that happened was, let's look here. The single raise limits your hand, 6 to 10 points, or 6 to 9 points if you're Sally's bidding. If you jumped 1 heart, 3 hearts, or 1 spade, 3 spades, you've also limited your hand. Now you've got 11 or 12 points. If you did the weak freak, definitely limited your hand there. It went 1 heart, 4 hearts, or 1 spade, 4 spades. Those are all limiting bids. A new suit, not a limiting bid. So if you bid a new suit, you're not limited. If you bid 1 no trump, that is a limiting bid because the 1 no trump bid says 6 to 9 or 10. And that's it. So that's limiting. So anytime you've limited your hand, now your partner, the opener, is the one who knows the how high question. May not know where yet, but knows how high. So if you limited your hand, technically they don't have to bid again if whatever you bid, they decide is probably where you belong. If they opened a heart and you bid a no trump, and they have just 13 points to start, they know the most you have between you is 21 or 22 points, maybe 23 if they had 10, and you don't have a fit, and there's nowhere else to go. So you would just pass. So it would go 1 heart, 1 no trump. However, if they bid a new suit, that's usually where this comes in. They've bid a new suit, you have to bid again. And in your bid, because you don't know now, if they limited their hand, you're in control. But if they didn't limit their hand, then you're in control. So you have to start telling them what is information about your hand. They are probably going to stay in control because with your second bid, you are going to limit your hand. So what you do is if you're in the 13 to 15 point range, That is a minimum opening hand, right? Lowest you could have, 13 to 15. So you are either going to rebid your suit, which promises an extra card in the suit. So if you had that opened a heart or a spade and they bid a new suit, you want to show a minimum hand, you can bid 2 hearts or 2 spades, but that shows now I've got 6, not 5. You can raise your partner's suit 1 level. That might be like one heart, 1 spade by my partner, 2 spades. I mean, I have 4 spades and I don't have an extra heart. Or you bid the lowest no trump. Or you can bid a new suit, basically at the 1 level. So it could be if you had started 1 diamond and they said a heart, you could say a spade. But today we're only talking about major suit openings, so this one really doesn't apply. We'll talk about that class tomorrow. With 16 to about 18 points, this is a medium hand. And in this one, you jump in your suit or you jump in your partner's suit or you bid a new suit of your own to show extra points. If you're at the 19 to 21 level, that's the maximum hand. That is a big hand. In that case, you jump shift, which means you jump up a level, and you bid a new suit. That would be like 1 heart, 1 spade, 3 diamonds. I skipped over the 2 diamond level. That shows a very strong hand. Doesn't come up very much because there's other ways to do it, but it could come up that way. Shows a very strong hand. Okay. All right. What I'd like to do now is let's look in the book and just look at some examples in here, because putting all this together, yeah, it kind of makes sense, but let's see if we can apply it in real life. All right. So let's go to page 96 in your books. Oops. Page 96 in the books. And the first 3 examples on page 96 are just examples of opening bids. Look at the first bid there. And let's add up our high card points. Looks like we have 12 high card points. The queen plus the ace and king of hearts is 9, plus the king of diamonds is 3 more. That's 12 high card points plus 1 for length. So this is a 13-point hand. That meets the definition, 13 to 21 for opening 1 of something. And what 1 are we going to open?
Spades.
A spade, because we've got 5 spades. So this hand would open 1 spade. Look at the next one. Count up the high card points here. Here we have the ace, queen of spades for 6. The king of hearts is 3 more, that's 9. The ace is 4, so that's 13. And the ace queen is 6 more, so that's 19 high card points. Big hand, right? Plus, look, you've got some length points there. You've got 1 extra 1 in hearts and 1 extra 1 in clubs. So you've got 2 length points. So 19 high card points plus 2 for length. That gives us a total of 21. We're still going to open 1 because 13 to 21 points, we open 1 of something. What is the 1 of something we're going to open here? We're going to open here one heart because if we have a 5-card major, we open with the 5-card major. We give priority to that. Even though we have 5 clubs, we have equal length hearts and clubs. You would say, well, should I bid the clubs or should I bid the hearts? But you should always bid the hearts for 2 reasons. One, if we have a 5-card major, we open the major. But 2, if you have 2 5-card suits, you bid the higher. So following either one of those rules, you're going to open one heart here. Very big hand, biggest hand you can have, and open 1, and we'll open this one heart. The next example, C. In this example, we have 14 high card points, 14 high card points, plus 1 for length and diamonds. So this hand values 15 high card points. But we do not have a 5-card major. So we cannot open a heart or a spade. We have to open something else, either 1 no trump, 1 club, or 1 diamond. We can't open 1 no trump. We'll find out later. This doesn't meet the criteria for 1 no trump. It's got a singleton, which is one of the reasons. So we have to decide between opening a diamond and a club. And so we would open our better suit, a diamond. We would open this hand 1 diamond. And we'll talk about that more tomorrow when we talk about opening minor suits. So we can't open this one a heart or a spade, have to open this one 1 diamond. Okay, now let's talk about responding because there's more meat there. Partner now has opened 1 heart. And look at D. You're going to respond to partner's 1 heart bid. So your hand, you only have 3 points in your hand. You do have support for partner. You've got 3 in their suit. They opened 1 heart. You have a fit. You've got 8 hearts between you. So that means the first thing you do, when you first picked up this hand, it was only worth 3 points. When partner bids and you have support for it, now you revalue your hand, but revaluing this hand, we have no shortness. So there is no extra points to add. We just have 3 points. With 0 to 5, we pass. So D, you would pass. Let's look at E, the one next to it, E. Here we have 7 high card points, the 2 kings and the jack. We have support. Partners opened 1 heart. We have support for partner. We have 3. They have 5. We have 3. We've got at least 8. We've got support. We want to play hearts. We know where we want to play. So we want to raise partner's suit. First, we revalue our hand, adding shortness points. And do we have any shortness points here?
1.
We do. 1 for that doubleton, the 2 spades, 2 little spades. We get an extra point because we have that. Doesn't really put us in a different category because instead of 7, we have 8 points. So that still puts us in that single raise category, the 6 to 10 or 6 to 9 range. So we will raise 1 level, 1 heart by partner, 2 hearts by us. Let's look at the next one. Here we have 10 high card points. And we have support for partner. They've opened 1 heart. We have 4 hearts. So we know we want to bid in hearts because we have 10 high card points plus 1 for the doubleton. That's 11 points. We're going to want to jump, do that double raise. 1 heart, 3 hearts. That tells partner, I've got more points. I've got support. We should be playing in hearts. And I've got 10 to 12. or using Audrey's rules, 11 or 12. So we bid 3 hearts, 1 heart, 3 hearts. The next one, we have 10 high card points. Plus, look at the singleton and diamonds, just 1 card. We had 3 points. So 10 points plus 3 points is 13 points. When partner opens 1 heart, we know that where we want to be, at least how high is going to be hearts, how high is going to be 4, and where is going to be hearts. So we want to play 4 hearts. That's the game. We'll get the bonus points we're looking for. But we do not bid 4 hearts because 4 hearts is a weak bid. We don't want to confuse partner and mislead partner. So we don't bid 4 hearts, even though we know we want to at least wind up there. But first, we bid another suit, 2 clubs. We just bid another 4-card suit that we have. Just waiting to hear what partner says in their next bid, because in their next bid, if we don't limit our hand, they're going to limit their hand by either, one of those categories that we talked about of the 13 to 15, 16 to 18, 19 to 21. Then we will know how high and where. And the reason we do this is here, the likelihood is we're just going to play 4 hearts, but partner might have a really big hand. We might be at slam. So it's another reason why we do this. We take our time to find the for sure how high. We know at least game, might be more. So on G, we're going to bid 2 clubs. The next one, H, here we have 8 high card points, 2 kings and the queen, but we do not have support for partner. Partner bid a heart. We don't have 3 cards in the heart suit. So we don't have support for partner. We can't raise partner's suit. We have to bid a new suit of our own. And the best suit to bid here would be the spade, because it's a major suit and it shows 4 and we can bid it. We couldn't bid any higher, could we? Because we only have 8 points. So we couldn't go to the 2 level if we wanted to do that. But we can just say 1 spade at the 1 level. We have 4 spades. We have at least 6 points. That's all it says. We could have a lot more. We know we just have 8. Partner will hear 1 spade and not hear a limit. Partner will hear 6 plus. So partner will need to limit their hand with their next bid. The opener will need to make a limiting bid, an expression of how many points they have in their next bid. Let's look at the next one, I. Here we have 12 high card points, 10, 11, 12. We've got 12 high card points, plus we've got 2 for length in clubs. We do not have support for partner. Partner bid hearts. We've only got 2 hearts. So we don't count any shortness. We count the length. So this hand is worth 14 points. Could be a game somewhere, right? Because 25 is a game and no trump hearts or spades. So we probably have a game somewhere, but where is it? We know the how high, but we don't know the where. So we have to make a bid to start deciding where. And to help partner find out more about the how high. We know at least how high we are is game, but it could be higher. So we're going to bid 2 clubs. We just bid a new suit. Can't support partner, but we bid 2 clubs. And remember that to bid 2 clubs, we need to have at least 10 points. If we didn't have 10 points, we couldn't bid 2 clubs. If you take the ace of clubs out of this hand and put another little club over there instead, then we would only have like 8 points. Then we would need to bid 1 no trump. when we don't have the 10 points. Let's look at J. J, we've got 10 high card points, 5 diamonds, and 5 spades, but we do not have support for partner. So we need to bid a new suit. Which new suit would we choose to bid?
Spades.
Spades. And there's 2 reasons for that. One, we prefer to bid spades because if we can't find a heart fit, we want to find a spade fit, the other major suit. So that's number 1. And number 2, the higher of 2 5-card suits is what we bid. We've got 5 clubs and 5 spades. Spades is the higher ranking suit. So we would bid the spades first. So that's why we do that. Skip over to look at L over there in that last column. And here we have 9 high card points. Partner has opened 1 heart. We do not have support. We can't go to the 2 level. We've got clubs and diamonds, 4 each, but we can't go to the 2 level. We don't have enough points. So we can't bid either clubs or diamonds. We have to say something though, because we have 6 points. So what we would bid with that hand is 1 no trump. Okay, so to summarize, if partner has 5 of a major suit and between 13 and 21 points, they open one of the major. Then to respond to one of a major, either 1 heart or 1 spade, your first choice is to raise that suit. And if you're going to raise their suit, you've got a match, you are the dummy because they bid it first, you revalue your hand, and then depending on what category you're in, 6 to 10, 11, 12, 3 or more, you either do a single raise, 1 heart, 2 hearts, double raise, 1 heart, 3 hearts, or you bid a new suit if you've got 13 or more. Because remember, that raise to 4 is the weak freak. It is a weak hand. If you don't have support for partner suit, then you're going to bid a new suit of your own. If you can bid at the 1 level, you just need 6 points. If you would have to go to the 2 level, you've got to have at least 10 points to name a new suit. And you need to remember that if you're going to bid hearts, the other major suit at the 2 level, you need to have 5 in the suit, otherwise just 4. If you can't do any of those things, then you will just bid 1 no trump. And that's kind of the last choice of what to do. And then the final thing is if partner has not limited their suit, either by raising your suit or bidding 1 no trump, that means basically they bid a new suit, then you need to tell partner what you have by now bidding either to show a minimum hand, which is rebidding your suit, raising their suit, bidding the lowest no trump, or bidding a new suit at the 1 level, or a medium hand, jumping in your suit or their suit, or bidding a new suit. And then the maximum hand, usually you jump, shift, skip up a level, and bid a new suit. One final thing, notice that for either one of these 2 levels, 13 to 15 and 16 to 18, you can bid a new suit. So bidding a new suit pretty much leaves your hand open. Usually partner has to bid again after that because you haven't limited your hand. Okay, that's it for this session. Tomorrow, Monday morning, we're going to cover opening bids of a minor suit, which actually puts everything together, everything you need to know about opening the 1 level and responding at the 1 level, because there's just a couple of little twists that we need to add to everything we've gotten in today's lesson. All right, so we will do that tomorrow. Thanks so many of you for joining today. It was great to see everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, and you need to stay warm in between now and then. Okay. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Alex.
Bye bye.